This one's a very personal one that I am hoping in the coming years to be a better example of. And it's stop the patriarchal pace. We are, as women, in a very interesting moment in time because we can do anything we want, right? We have access to, we can be working, we can have a family, the world is at our fingertips. But just because we can do everything doesn't mean we should do everything. And I was a poster child for that statement last year. There were so many fun, interesting things to do and interesting people to meet that I just said yes to everything. And I found myself caught in this patriarchal pace. And there's a couple different ways. I came up with a handful of ways that for me, I found myself in the pace of production. That's what the patriarchal pace means to me. It means you've got to keep producing. You've got to keeping up with whatever your coworkers doing or your friends doing. I mean, the patriarchal pace could be in exercise. It could be in fasting. It could be in dieting. It's like the more. Like the feminine body doesn't frickin' do well with more. And I'm going to be really, really opinionated today, but I am really distraught at what I'm seeing in some of my fellow health influencers or whatever you want to call us, where we sit up there with perfect bodies and perfect faces and tell you how to do health. I promise you, I will always stand up in my imperfection and just show you as a 54-year-old woman how I'm trying to keep balance and sanity and health back to my life. And I don't think I'm supposed to have a body fat of 12%. I know I'm not supposed to. In fact, I'm doing some research on what is healthy for the feminine body. What is our body fat percentage? But I tell you, once I identify it, it's not the body fat percentage that's going to give you a lot of likes and follows on socials. And I also have to tell you, and I'm not meaning to keep going after Botox, but I'm really exhausted with trying to have a human connection with women that are Botoxed. I can't see if you're understanding my words. I don't know if what I'm saying is landing on you when your face is frozen. I can't understand or find your humanness. And so this is my humanness. I think a lot. I smile a lot. I laugh a lot. And all of my wrinkles are going to show you that. And so when you are in conversation or with me or you're listening to me, I want to show you that I'm making a hard line to use every lifestyle tool I can to age as slowly as possible at 54 years old, but I'm not willing to freeze my face to make you think that I'm beautiful. I know I'm beautiful. I love me. So I don't need your approval of me. I also am 54. And I'm supposed to wrinkle. And that's how it's supposed to look. I'm not going to do that anymore to please a system that doesn't even care about me. And when I look at all of the women out there that are losing themselves to that, my heart breaks. Now, I'm not saying if you do Botox and you look in the mirror and you feel really good about yourself, I'm really happy for you. I'm sharing with you my own personal ethos. This is how I believe and how I would like to show up. And I'm also trying to be an example for all other women that can't afford Botox. They can't afford plastic surgery. They're not getting their breast implants. They're not going to put on the patriarchal mask. They're going to do it their way. And I think that each time one woman stands up that way, we free all the other women. So the beauty world is so big on this. Many of you are going to hear my podcast interview with Leanne Rimes on that we're putting out about her healing journey. I adore this woman for so many reasons, but maybe one of the greatest is she spends when you don't see her on some kind of tour or some kind of show or some kind of place where she's being, put up as Leanne Rimes at home. She's in her jammies. She's in her sweats. That woman wears sweats more than any human I've ever seen on the planet. And if you follow her on Instagram, you'll see her in her sweats. And these aren't fancy sweats. They're just sweats. And she shows you she's a normal human. So, but then we have a whole system that wants to reorganize itself to try to look like the version of her when she's on stage. And she's just an example who has been willing to be that example. So you can do that with every single woman out there. So that's got eyeballs on her right now. Okay. Couple of other things that I want to say about this patriarchal pace is that in the patriarchal pace, we become people pleasers. We put other people's needs ahead of our own. I'm going to, again, tell you that in my emotional journey this last year, both my breath worker and therapists have asked me, well, what do you want? How do you want to create your life? And do you know, I couldn't find that answer because I've spent so much of my life pleasing other people, serving other people, reorganizing my life around other people, that here I sit at 54 years old and I'm like, what do I want? Nobody's asked me that. I never asked me that. And I'm having to really dig deep and ask, okay, my kids are grown. My practice has been closed. I'm writing books. I'm doing videos. Like, what is it that I want? And that's a real depth into my soul that I haven't been able to fully answer yet. And some of you may resonate with that. But we have to get out of the people pleasing. We have to get out of the not speaking our truth. I want to tell you something really interesting that actually Leanne taught me, which is that the vocal cords and the cervix were the same tissue in utero, and then they separate. But if you look at a picture of human vocal cords and you look at picture of a woman's cervix, they look very similar. And I think there's something interesting about every time we don't use our voice, we are harming our reproductive system. Now, I can tell you how that works through hormones, but holding back and not speaking our truth is absolutely damaging us. So I'm coming back to what do I need and what do I want to speak? And can I speak it with knowing that if I speak it, it's going to upset people and I'm going to be okay with that. So that was a big one. And then the patriarchal pace, I didn't have a downtime. All of a sudden, Monday through Friday, the work week became Monday to Sunday. There was no downtime. And so I had to learn to build downtime back in. And I had to start to look at my life as there are go periods and there are rest periods. So if I look, like I'll tell you right now, I'm in a like a 6-week go period. So I'm already looking ahead and saying, what after that, where does downtime come in? Where do I get to take some weeks off and slow the pace? And that one I'm still working on.